Okay, we got a Honda gc160. We'll go over how to rebuild the carburetor. Air filter. Take off the fuel tank. $10mm. Two bolts up there. One down here. Gas tank still has a little bit of gas in it. Pulled off. If you don't want to lose your bolts, get in the habit of just, once you remove something, just screw them back into where they go. Then you don't have to sort through a pile of bolts to figure out where it went. Fuel lines off. Set the fuel tank aside. Two more 10mm on the air filter housing. Pull them all the way out. Leave the carb attached. Just try to get the housing off. There's a little vent tube. Unhook that. Set your air filter housing aside. And we got our carb. There's a little gasket here on the other side. Here's your choke. You need to pull the choke forward. There's a little rubber grommet. And you just slide it out. Being careful because it's all plastic. You don't break it. Set that aside. This is your fuel inlet. This is your fuel pump. Easiest way you get these old gas lines off. Slide off the clamp. Pour your pliers right on the piece and rotate it right there. Right on the nipple, and then it should pop right off. Okay, now for your governor spring and rod. Slide it up and off, and the spring, unhook the spring as well. That's just a tensioner spring. This is actually your governor spring down here, which hooks through your throttle. The higher up that goes, the harder it pulls on that spring. There's your carb. Remove the bowl nut. Not too bad. There's a little bit of gunk. Remove the pin for the float. It just slides out to the side. Set that aside. Remove the float with the needle attached. Set that aside. Take some carburetor cleaner. Safety glasses, because you'll get it sprayed right back in your eye. You start spraying off the inside. Spray off the outside too. If your outside is really caked dirty, you probably want to spray off the outside completely before you even remove the bowl. Remove it. Clean screwdriver. You want the screwdriver to be wide enough to just barely fit in there. Too narrow and you'll just strip out the brass. Get it in there. And try not to strip it. This one actually came out really easy. Unscrew. There you go. That's our main jet. You need to make sure that thing's nice and clean. So put the nozzle of your carburetor cleaner on it. Spray through it both ways. And we got our Venturi tube right here. Came out after. And it's pretty much a straight passage all the way through. But there's There's 12 holes all the way around the outside. So you want to put your finger over the top. And you want to rotate it and make sure it's spraying out every single one of those side holes. And each one's getting a nice steady stream. And spray all the way through. Hold the bottom. Spray backwards. Spray through all the holes to that side. Just going to want to spray through different passages. There's 2 at the front. Behind the choke, there's one right there. One right there. When the choke is closed, it actually forces air through those into the bowl of the carburetor and helps force gas up into the engine. Just put your nozzle in those. Spray through them. The second one right here is actually going to spray straight back. You can kind of see it's right here. Spray straight across, back across here, and there's actually a Welch plug right there. You don't need to remove the Welch plug. If you buy a carburetor kit, they'll probably give you a new Welch plug, so you can if you want. But the idea is to put your nozzle in the front, and then look. There's actually there'll be a couple holes right on the other side of that Welch plug. And what you want to do is when you spray, you just want to make sure it's coming out the little holes on the other side of the Welch plug. If it comes out nice and good, then you're not clogged at all. Now we remove, there's a screw right here on top, but first we have to remove our idle screw. That just keeps your idle. You can remember where it's at, or just it's really easy to adjust when you get the engine back going. Set that aside. Screw right here. Back it out. Spray through there. It should spray through the front passage. I think that's actually the source of my clog. So that right there, you'll notice it goes down through this hole. There's a hole. You can tell where a hole is. Usually there's a BB. So they put a BB right there, so they've drilled horizontal into this tube right here, into your idle circuit. And then you see a BB right there, so they've drilled all the way up, and then you can follow the passage all the way up to there. So when you spray through here, it should spray down there and it should spray inside this tube. But I'm not seeing any. I don't see any spray, so that's why my engine's running a little bit crappy. So we're going to clean that out. The easiest way to clean that out is to take a copper wire, stranded copper wire, and pull out a strand. Copper's nice because copper won't, it's a soft metal and it won't scratch up the inside. Your little brass fittings and stuff in there. And now with that screw out, I'm just going to run it through the top. And just jam the little piece of copper wire in there, cleaning it out. There's actually a little teeny jet in there that's pressed in. And then after you wiggle that around, just make sure, you just want to be able to spray fluid through there. Probably going to be a kind of a